I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot. Hey, why not?
Okay, we are live and we are recording. Well, we're not live, but we are recording. And welcome back to the Road to the Show with Al and Ro. And we are joined today by some of my favorite people in this entire world, and that's Courtney and Tony Spaeth. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Hey, what's up, crew?
Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely. And they are here today. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would do an episode just to talk to them and catch up on things because they're seriously amazing. But we're going to talk specifically about the merger between the USBF and the Natty Revolution federations. Right? Safe to say federations,
Yep.
right? Okay.
Yes.
And
Really an acquisition.
yeah, it
Oh,
was really an
okay.
acquisition. Yeah,
Natty Revolution was acquired by the USBF.
Okay.
Which-
Well, I stand corrected, and I will put some respect on that name. That's on me. That's on me, guys. I'm regulating
That's it.
already. Not even 1 minute into the show, but I got it. It's all good.
no, it's okay because
The verbiage can be taken a little differently.
Yeah.
So
we did merge everything together, so there's still that, but it was in legal terms an acquisition from the USBF bought Natty Revolution. So
Okay.
and then we just
Okay.
merged everything together into one big federation.
Okay, so the acquisitional merge that happened is what we're going to talk about. But before we get into this episode, just like any of the Road to the Show with Alan Rowe, we are going to start this off with a dad joke. And we got 3 people to ask this dad joke to, so this is going to be phenomenal. Okay? All right. So, what do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back?
Shit, I'm a dad. I should know
throwback.
this stuff.
Nope.
A throwback?
A stick.
stick. So bad.
All right, guys.
I'm always surprised.
Sorry, I'm a dad, so that's as funny as anything to me, man.
Oh no, they're great. I feel like it's like when you have kids, like it's just an automatic download as a father. You know, kind of like how your iCloud automatically updates. Same thing. It's your iDad that just automatically downloads this joke.
So what you're
it's crazy.
saying is you guys automatically become corny.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Nailed it.
So some people say corny. I like to say unappreciated, but I mean, whatever, however you want to word it. It's
That
all
one
good,
too.
you know? All right. So, Ms. Courtney and Tony, let's just talk about the merge acquisition. Can you kind of enlighten us big picture wise what happened, and let's just take it from there.
So the big picture, which we've been working on for over the last year, is trying to consolidate federations. So it's one of the biggest things as athletes that we say all the time. I hear it, I say it, we need less federations, bigger shows. And so the goal was to try to bring these together. So that's something that we've been working a lot on, just mending relationships, getting new relationships with people, showing others what shows should be like and how people can work together and to bring that all in one to better the sport for the athletes. I mean, we want more and more to happen, but it had to start somewhere. So we were very pleased to finally get that to come through this year.
And as Courtney said before, you know, we've been working on this for quite some time. We actually started this thought process probably 2 years ago when a bunch of us started to line up our posing criteria, drug testing, procedures, you know, some of those kinds of things. So we started to line things up before this was even a real possibility. And once we got the whole thing to happen, it was like, man, this is way too cool. Now we can really start to roll. So just get everything under one umbrella and start to move forward.
Outstanding. That's pretty interesting that you guys kind of set out with like a bigger intention, and it seems like everything just kind of fell in line with the bigger picture that you guys already had. So
You got to start with the end in mind always. So
man, that you are so correct. I think it's when you start getting to the big picture and you work your way to where you are now, it's when you actually start building a step ladder to the bigger goals that we have. It's by making those little miniature goals attainable. So for you guys, let's say I'm a current athlete. I'm a current athlete in the USBF or an athlete that was part of Natty Revolution. What does this mean for me?
This means a lot more opportunity. So in more opportunity, not just for those competitors within the Natty Revolution and USBF, but other federations. So we have always stood by once a pro, always a pro. And any natural pro we honor within our federation. So merging that into a bigger federation is going to give a lot more avenues for the athletes.
one membership card
Covers everything. So the USBF was the truest organization, only 5 main divisions. With the Natty Revolution coming on board, we created a division within the same federation. So it'll be the USBF Plus that'll allow some of those extra categories like women's physique, men's classic physique, angel, sports model. Those will still remain. Those were never a division option within the USBF before. So the USBF membership will cover everything. And if you purchased your federation membership with the Natty Revolution or your pro card membership within the Natty Revolution at the end of this year, we will still honor that within the USBF next year. So you don't have to be like, oh my gosh, I just bought a pro membership because I just stepped on stage last weekend and now I have to buy a whole new one again next spring if I want to compete. No, you don't have to do that. We will honor that all the way through until your year cycle. So,
and then again, when Courtney talks about once a pro, always a pro, what that means is Robin's taking some time off. Okay, so if she is a pro with us, which she is, and had bought a membership last year, okay, but she's going to take a year and a half off. She does not need to pay for a pro membership for the year that she's not competing. When she starts up again, she buys her membership card, and we continue on business like normal human beings. Okay? So it's not this, you have to buy every year, you have to purchase every 2 years, you have to be with us every 5 years. None of that stuff.
No restriction to be able to keep your status. You don't have to compete every so often to keep your status.
That is amazing. Amazing. Yeah, Robin, can you go into that, like, as a USBF athlete, like what that means for you and how that just plays into everything?
Is it okay to talk about for me to bring? I'm not. I'm just going to say. Is that me?
No, I don't know.
There goes Robin.
We're being hacked.
No, man, sorry. That was me. I farted, guys. Anyways.
Dang it, one of those federations got us.
Yeah,
that was right.
Wiretapping into this. Like, oh, you said no annual pro memberships. Oh shit, we got to turn this podcast down. This shit is done. We are getting our $150 a year for no reason membership. All right. Anyways, wow, that was passive aggressive. Sorry. Anyways, go ahead.
So that means the world to me because the first pro card I ever got, I don't have to say the federation's name, but first pro card I ever got, I had to pay, obviously, you pay before you get the pro card. And then literally you have to, every year, like let's take for instance, if I want to compete in that federation in 2025, I won that card in 2021. I have to pay for 2022's membership, even though I'm not competing. I did compete in 2022, but I have to pay for 23, 24, and 25.
Jeez.
And if I don't, in order for me to compete in 2025, I have to back pay all of that. So I'm looking at possibly like four to anywhere from $400 to $600 just to even pay for my registration for that year to step on stage, plus my registration. I was floored. I'm like, are you kidding me? Why am I paying for the years I'm not competing? The answer was, well, we have trophies and other things that we have to take care of for the athletes. I'm like, yeah, for the ones that are competing. Why am I paying for the ones that I'm not even competing against? Why am I paying for their trophies? Their registration and membership should cover that for them that year. I'm not competing, so why am I being charged that? So when I got into the USBF and won my card and found out that one, it was only $100 for the membership. Don't know if that changes, guys. Sorry, but that's what I paid that year, $100.
Listen, don't be throwing that out.
It's subject to change. I mean, it's a business. It's subject to change. But the year I became a pro was $100.
Hearing those sounds again. Just oh god, could podcast go down?
Sorry, $100 for me, and like I'm recognized as a pro no matter which division I step in. If I want to, what I do like is they keep you at one division per show. But I like how if I want to be well, is that true, Courtney and Tony? If I don't have my pro card in women's bodybuilding or women's physique.
You'd have to still qualify as a pro bodybuilder. So your pro membership. So this is one thing. Yeah. I'm a pro in women's physique and figure. Some federations, which happened to me earlier this year, is I went to a show and I crossed over to both, and they said, well, you need to buy a pro membership for women's physique also. And I'm like, what do you mean? I have a pro membership with you. No, you have to have a pro membership for figure and a pro membership for physique. So then I had to buy another pro membership at $175 to compete that next day. That's not a thing, but you still have to qualify. So if you've never competed in women's bodybuilding, you would have to compete in the amateur women's bodybuilding division to then qualify to be the pro if you win the open.
But you wouldn't have to buy another pro membership.
Yeah, you don't have to buy another pro membership, though.
Right. But to me, that's fair because I've never done women's bodybuilding. I've never stepped on a women's bodybuilding stage. So technically, I'm amateur. Even though I'm pro figure, but I'm amateur when it comes to women's bodybuilding and women's physique. So that makes sense. But it made me happy to know that it wasn't a money grab. That I have to pay almost $200 a year, whether I'm competing or not. On top of the price of registration and everything like. So being a U.S., and we're not even going to talk about the card. The card. I should have brought it. I need to grab it. I'm going to grab it. But the card is so cool. It's like really hard. It's hard. It's like, I mean, it's not easy to like bend, break up, tear up. Plus, like I said, you pay that $100 and I'm good until the next time I step on stage. I pay for the year I compete and I'm always a pro. I don't have to compete amateur again in the division I'm already a pro in. So I love that about the USBF.
And we're trying to come up with other incentives for the athletes too. So moving forward, we're trying to come up with a program where you would have the option to set up a subscription per se when you purchase your membership. And that gives you points and other perks like free merch and discounts into shows and maybe a discounted membership price the following year. Like there's different things we're trying to come up with to give something back to the athletes for continuing to give to us to be able to grow these shows and help build the federation for the athletes. Everything we get, it's a nonprofit organization. We put everything back into the shows. So there's going to be a few other options with that.
Yeah. I really appreciate this because I really couldn't pick two better people to lead such a change than honestly you guys. So I guess, we just talked about, you're welcome. You're welcome. Like I said, Tony, I know you always play the pretty one between you guys and I really kudos you for that one. I know. Sorry, Courtney. I had to kind of tell you this over the recording.
He just shakes hands and kisses babies.
Yeah, shakes babies and kisses hands.
Shakes babies and kisses hands. Oh, I love this.
And Robin gets my humor more than anyone ever in the community. So.
Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, my God. You know, what's funny, what came to mind as a rebuttal, and I'm glad I kind of held back, is that like, well, no, I know all about shaking babies, damn it. And I was like, wait a minute, no. I'll let Robin win that one. Robin can understand all those jokes, all that she can. You know what I mean? All right. So we talked about current athletes that are in there, other pros as well. So let's say I was a brand new athlete who is trying to pick between what federations that I should be competing in. What, for you guys, in your guys' opinion, what is it that sets you guys apart for like a new athlete that just wants to, like, what are they going to experience when they compete in these shows?
You going first?
The biggest thing is communication and having great people behind the scenes, people who are calm, keep things moving. They're not yelling at you. They're telling you what's going on. Having a nice flow and direction so that when you come in, I mean, as a new athlete, here we are, we're being tapped again. We're taking all our secrets.
I don't know what this little fart noise is.
There you go. Good.
I swear to God, this program, there's a new random kink every once in a while, and that just happens. It's a kinky program is pretty much what I'm saying. So, yes.
Hey, sometimes they're that way, you know?
Yeah. No. You got to shake those damn babies out of it. Anyways, maybe we didn't shake the baby enough, guys. Oh, my God.
So, yeah, having that, and then just like the flow of the shows. Having a one format. You get in, you can flow through everything, get your words, you can get out. Your family doesn't know what to expect either when they're coming to a show for the first time. Most of the time when it's a split format, they're bored as hell. You got to come back, and then you don't even get to go eat because things get done so late. So things like that are going to make the whole day more enjoyable as a new athlete. And
then on the backside of things, you know, this is a very subjective sport as far as things go. There are nice, you know, we are very clear in our criteria. I believe our judges do a nice job. We are very adamant that we don't have coaches on our judging panel. If someone is being coached by one of the judges, that they've got to back away from the table. And that's a class that they don't get to judge at all. So, you know, we've taken all of the politics out of it, and then you know, on the other backside of things, the drug testing. You know, we do a great job at drug testing. So, I mean, it's, you know, we use the highest quality lab in the world as far as things go, SMRTL. You know, we have to use all of our testing money, the pool, on athletes to test. So, you know, there's people coming in that don't really understand all of that. Once they start to see it, they'll appreciate it, you know. And
so many
really
times
really fair stage.
You go to shows that are supposed to be tested, and there's no testing being done at all, or you'll see one or two athletes being tested. So I think they get discouraged when they come into a show thinking this is a natural sport or a natural federation, and I didn't see anybody being tested. So you see that here and there, which, yeah, it's not a good feeling as a new athlete coming in, not really understanding the process. So,
yeah,
and we've all seen it. Judges on judging panels that are coaches or the the main promoter, and we've got people that are in our shows that we promote. You know, we don't talk to the judges about who our people are and that kind of stuff. You know, it's not like, hey, you know, thank you, Courtney, for coaching me when they're walking out on stage. You know, that kind of crap. So
I heard that one time too. I was like,
oh, I've never heard of that. Wait, what happened?
There's shows I've been to where like almost every single athlete on stage with their bio will think the person that is
literally the promoter,
but that's their coach.
That's their coach. Yeah.
And it's over and over and over and over. And it's
that's a little conflict of interest.
Yeah, and it's like I have athletes that come to our shows, but I'm not coaching athletes, and telling them, we're coaching you for the show. I'm coaching you for your goals and what works for your time frame. I don't care where you go. Like, I have a competitor that she's going to be going to multiple federations next month. We don't have any shows left.
Yeah.
She's going to other federations. That's how I do things.
But that's, that's the whole part of this thing. It's that we are very non-political. I don't care where you've been, what stage you've gone on, what team you train with. Don't care.
You guys don't.
And that's something that,
I was going to say, how do you handle that?
go ahead, Robin.
When you have an athlete that wants to do your show?
Let them do the show. But neither of us sit on a judging panel of our own show.
No.
And we don't talk to the coaches about whose athletes are who. I mean, you've seen us at shows where we're running around.
Yeah, we're trying to sail the ship.
Yeah.
We literally are trying to sail the ship. So we are not in any way, shape, or form controlling any of that. What's I going to say about?
And we just have, we just don't, it's one of those things. Don't talk about it. Now, after you're off the stage, hey, Courtney, give her a hug, get a picture with her, do all these things. That's fine. But it's not, I don't know. It's a tough thing because when an athlete says, "Oh, Courtney's my coach," and this is her show, and they've come to realize, like this last year, there was quite a few athletes that Courtney was coaching at Wisconsin Warrior. We had a huge show. Now, again, we were in the back running around, didn't get to talk to. Judges don't know who her athletes are because we don't have them put it down on the form. Like it's team whatever gym they're from, not anything
That's smart.
like that. So that's pretty much how we try to handle it. It's just why make more grief for yourself, and why give athletes that are in a subjective sport something else to be negative about when they shouldn't. It's not a non-issue.
When our entire sport is like based off of subjectivity, we kind of need certain objective things in place to make the subjectivity acceptable. So it definitely seems like this entire way that we're talking, that you guys have taken your guys' experience, not only as an athlete, but as showrunners and as people that just travel the circuit, and you guys have accumulated your guys' experience, everything that you've seen, and you put it into your guys' shows. Is that a pretty accurate statement?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Kick out the things we hate and change the things. Yeah, change those things and then
that,
like. And for me as an athlete, that was a big part of having restrictions on where I could go. I'm not about that. I don't tolerate a federation saying, well, you can only compete with me. Well, I don't want to compete against the same people all the time. I don't want to be in front of the same judges all the time. I want to be able to move around, so I have variety as an athlete to push myself. And nobody should ever be restricted that way. We don't own the athletes. We are here to provide a platform for them to compete, period.
Yeah, one of the things I know that Alan appreciates, we talked about it before, that the USBF does is only allow you to do one division per show. There shouldn't be a classic guy in the bodybuilding division, or, you see all these different people showing up for every single division. It makes it hard for the judges to figure out where to place you. I mean, it confuses things.
Yeah.
Robin, why are you starting on this right away?
So with the Natty Revolution, we allow the crossovers moving forward. So this is going to be something interesting within the USBF Plus moving forward, because it basically is still the Natty Revolution within the USBF, because we have Angel, we have Sports Medal, we have Classic Figure. So having a wellness will hopefully become
that's a little bit different, though.
Criteria put together. But correct. So our crossover guidelines are going to have to be a little more clear within the USBF Plus, that your crossover is allowed into one of those extras. So if your figure, you go into figure classic, or you go into sports model. If you're angel or bikini, you go into angel. If you're wellness, you can go
That
into
makes
angel
sense.
or sports model. So you have that little crossover option still, but it's not your basic division.
I mean, it makes sense for
Pretty much.
amateurs because an amateur is still
Yeah.
trying to figure out where they fit. So I understand an amateur doing like classic and bodybuilding because you just never know. And then once they get their feet wet, okay, I fit better here. But a pro just sweeping shows or just jumping in every category, like, come on.
Hey,
Yeah.
Nothing
no, but so this
You gotta make your
this
money.
reasoning exactly,
Yeah.
because the show that I jumped into later, I come to find out they weren't going to guarantee the payout because of the number of athletes that were in the show.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to travel 10 and a half, 11 hours to go to this show, and I'm not going to be guaranteed a certain dollar amount payout. Okay, well, now I'm going to add that crossover for another, whatever it was,
Yeah.
$80 or $120. Like it wasn't that expensive. I'm going to add that crossover in so I can try to double my money since it's not going to be a guaranteed
Right.
payout.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I usually, up until literally like right now, and until we got to this point in this conversation, like I kind of resisted athletes kind of crossing over into different divisions and competing. But the way that you put it now, like, yeah, how do you blame someone from traveling, especially when the natty bodybuilding world still isn't as popular as it will be, in my honest opinion. The payouts are still low, so that's the only way you can justify doing that. I really appreciate that, Courtney, because I realize I was very adamantly against that, because I don't want a guy to be competing physique, classic physique, bodybuilding, and then all of a sudden he takes women's bikini as well. Like, wow, that'd be terrible. We don't need that many crossovers. Like, this is just one show, guys. Great. So the fact that you explained that situation the way that you did, it really makes a lot of sense. Because, I mean, if there's one thing that I'm still I really try to advocate to people, because the coaching, the nutrition, the supplements, the gym membership, the posing, the whole 9 yards, you do that for what, 6, 7, 8 months for a show, and you get a $1,500 check. That doesn't make any sense.
I'll listen to that.
Think about the
Right.
All
No,
right.
and that's a big thing with our shows too, moving forward with all the promoters, that it is going to be in their contract. This is a guaranteed payout.
You can pay more.
Pros are guaranteed payouts. You're putting this out there. That's your bottom line. You are never dropping under that. But you can add more. Tony and I did that. Wisconsin Warrior.
We doubled
our
our
first place payout was $1,000. Second place payout was $500. Third was $250. Show went so well, we doubled everybody's
Here we go.
payouts.
Hell
So-
yes.
think about the guy from France. He traveled all the way from France to the Florida Pro.
Yeah.
He cleaned up, remember?
Yeah.
Alan?
Yeah.
Umbe.
But I love the
Such a-
guaranteed payout.
Such a great guy.
I actually witnessed that. At my very first Florida, my USBF show was the championships here in Minnesota. And it was one competitor. And she got the $5,000 check. She took it. They even gave her all the trophies on the stage too. So I mean, like,
all of them
they were like, "Here, take it.
Here
Get
you
on.
go.
You scared everybody away." So that's absolutely honest. That's absolutely true.
That's Danny.
Yeah,
All right. Oh, go ahead, Tony.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I mean, there's a lot of things that are still happening. So November 1st, our new website comes out.
Okay.
Where you'll start to see everything finally like under the one umbrella, and they'll have all the shows. It'll see both sides. It'll say, USBF, USBF Plus, so you can look at the different shows that each has. Criteria is all the same between all of the categories, but Courtney and I. So I was president of Natty Revolution, and when the acquisition happened, Courtney and I went over to the USBF as vice president of operations. So we're taking over all of the, not so much the communications, but like the processes behind communicating with athletes, with vendors,
Setting up
tanning,
the show formats.
setting up the shows, format.
Timing of things.
Yeah, a lot of the streamlining of the show type stuff and how people get communicated to. So
we can try to get consistency and keep the flow going for every show, because there's still some shows that need some work, some promoters that need some work, and we're just going to keep fine-tuning those things so that everybody is getting the same experience across the board. That's really important to us.
Outstanding.
And we don't want to take away anyone's artistic license, or some like Daryl. Daryl has insanely good artistic brain, and we don't want to take any of that away from him. Love it.
Everybody's show is going to have their own little flair. That's what's cool about it. It's not going to be the same thing. I know some people are like, oh, but I really want a sword, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to make every promoter get a sword if that's not what they want to do. Each show kind of has their own theme. So, you'll know over years, like, okay, this is what that show's known for. This is what that show's known for. And you pick and choose based on, okay, that's kind of what I want to go after. Oh, I really want that helmet. Okay, I'm going to go for that show.
Like those insane swag bags you got cooking up, Courtney.
Yeah, our friggin' athlete swag bags for the Warrior.
And we're going to be there, right?
They're cool. They're a cooler. Yeah, you guys are going to be there.
We are going to be there. I'm so excited. I get to go to Wisconsin.
Warrior will be live stream.
I don't know how you're going to live stream the tube float.
Yeah,
on,
we should live
Sunday,
stream the tube float. That would be fun.
We'll live stream whatever you guys want to live stream. Just whatever, you know what I mean? By all means.
So guys, here's that card.
So anybody listening, the tube float, just so you know, is our after party, the day after the Wisconsin Warrior. We rent
that's what
tubes and we float down the river.
Oh, that's what I saw in your guys' story and things. I was wondering, because Courtney has a picture where her guns are just jacked down the river. I'm like, what are you? All right, Guns McGee over here. Yeah, what are you doing? Guns
Robin,
McGee.
That card, that is a sweet card that they give out. That USBF does for pros. Yeah, it's a metal card, and then it's got the logo on it.
And you see it just says membership number. There's no expiration on it.
Yeah.
So all my other cards have expiration dates on it. This one does not. Once a pro, always a pro.
Can I get a card that says amateur athlete? Is there like make a I don't know.
No need, Alan, because you're not going to be an amateur for long.
Wait,
we'll get you a printout.
Whatever.
Guys, I'm a
you're only
winner
going to be
at
amateur
heart,
for one more show anyway.
Well,
you only got one more show to go anyway.
We'll see. You never know. Hey, it's a subjective sport there, Tony. I'm not as pretty as you, so we'll see.
Come over here to the USBF side, bro.
Oh,
dude,
man,
talk your way into a pro card.
I'll just talk my way to it. So, I identify as a pro. Don't you agree? Right? There it goes. That's what I'll do. I'll just instead of when I do my next like T-walk or individual performance, I'll just get up on the mic and do dad jokes for the entirety of it.
Dad jokes.
Dad jokes, right? There you go. Could you imagine them flexing so why did the chicken cross the road? To flex, obviously, right? So anyway, before I start flexing and telling chicken jokes, so you guys already talked about the Florida Pro, which is a phenomenal super show, and I'm very happy that you guys are a part of that evolution. So you guys did talk about earlier about the bigger picture of natural bodying and where you guys want to take it. So kind of as we wrap this up, I would like to know from your guys' perspective, what are some of the bigger things that we should expect with the USBF? And for you guys, I also want to know what you guys think needs to happen even more big picture wise for us to get to this better community that we call natural bodybuilding.
So we have a lot of shows that are going to be coming. So definitely stay tuned for the next few months.
Okay.
This is going to keep getting bigger and bigger. We have a ton of people coming on board. There's going to be a lot more coverage across the country with show options. And
it's still evolving. So,
yes.
We've got a lot of decisions to make because we want to start getting more depth of our shows instead of just going wide, right? We need to start building our shows deeper with the promoters that we have.
So that mean some shows consolidating into others. Those that aren't very strong or are just brand new, weaker shows. Those may come off the schedule completely. But then trying to structure the locations and the time frame so there isn't 2 or 3 shows on the same day in the same region. So that they're kind of
that's
spread across
really
the board.
important. Jeez, for
Right.
sure.
Right. We need to not, we've been stretched on resources, so it's been one of those things where it's like Courtney and I run.
We ran our butts off this year trying to cover all the ground.
20 or 24 weeks this year. We were either at shows, running shows, or being in shows. Or
all doing this while I've been prepping.
Yeah, any all of the above. And so but what we've been doing is building teams to help, like set up the stage. Teams that do expediting, right? So we've got more regional groups. Yeah, we got more regional groups of people it takes, it takes a community to build to raise a child, and same thing goes for bodybuilding shows. So
I think that's how the saying goes, right? I think that's how the saying goes. It takes a community to raise a child and a bodybuilding show. I think that's the exact quote. Right. Yes. Just that's what I heard.
Anyway. I read that. So
yeah, you did you too? I thought I was the only one. Okay,
so,
sorry.
Courtney, I have a quick question.
And long term, I mean, trying to get more and more.
Robin's got a
Okay, he wants to know. With the merge,
there she is.
What does that mean for Florida Pro for you next year?
Ooh.
So Florida Pro for me, I mean, we're
automatic win. Just kidding.
The prior 35 minutes of the show has just been erased by Pretty Tony's one comment there. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Pretty Tony, I like that.
Sorry.
This is why I can't have him on shit.
Can't get rid of Tony.
That's why Tony doesn't compete. No, that's why Tony doesn't compete. He will take all the spotlight away from Courtney. God, Tony, you're an amazing husband. God damn it. I need a Tony for me and my stage presence. God damn it. I need a freaking Tony.
So I'm super hesitant to ever compete within the federation I promote in. However, the big picture of this whole thing is to try to get more and more and more of these federations to come together. Eventually, that's going to rabbit hole us all, right? If we're all helping and doing things, okay, I'm going to have to compete in my own federation. So, and that is where the unbiased judges, people that don't, I mean, there's still people out there that don't know me. We bring in judges all across the country all the time. So being able to compete somewhere that isn't my show, it's still an open avenue. We have other promoters within our group that do compete within the USBF. So that's, that is okay. It's just, it's going to be one of those, there is no bias.
Because...
Will people play that bias card all the time? Yeah, you bet they will.
I mean, is Daryl going to have, obviously he's going to have a new panel of judges because of USBF. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say a new panel of judges. He'll have whoever he needs to be there that's qualified to be there.
Right.
So it's not that he has to use who we say. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
We just have to make sure they're qualified.
Yeah, as long as they're qualified judges, we just need to make sure that they're qualified and that they know how to follow criteria. I mean, those are the biggest things, and if Courtney competes and Robin's on stage and all of the judges are like me and they go, hey, Robin should be in first place. What can you do?
Tony, your check's in the mail, bro. You don't have to rub it in.
Oh, you're killing me right now, man. You got this. You win today, buddy. You win.
He's in trouble.
Even this last Florida Pro,
I'm punchy today.
Like even this last Florida Pro, I think only only half of the judges even knew who I was.
Yeah,
So it's not like every natural
now they definitely
bodybuilder
know who you
knows.
are. Just
Well, I
saying.
mean, and just being honest, Courtney, you bring it. So it's not one of those situations where we're like, how did she win? I mean, come on. Come on. Come on.
But people will always
will.
play that. So, I mean, that's something that I've always been very hesitant with. And I've never, like, since we started with in the Natty Revolution, I've never competed in a Natty Revolution event again.
Yeah, I said
That's it. He didn't say no.
I said no.
He said it that myself before he said no.
I ruled this house. I said no.
Did you put your big boy pants on tonight, Tony?
Pretty sure not. He saw a camera and went,
Yeah.
Don't let him tell you any different, Tony. Okay, again,
Ridiculous.
see,
I'm trying.
I just underappreciated. Like we started at the very beginning. It's just underappreciated because I appreciate the shit out of Tony. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why you're getting on him, Robin. I love this.
No, I love
What are you
Tony.
talking about?
I just know.
Somebody says we travel for 11 hours. Somebody
She
doesn't
knows.
say I drive.
Deal with
Yeah.
this shit too much.
Somebody doesn't say I drive for 10 hours. I travel for 10 hours. Being the passenger princess over here, you know.
This is what I do.
It's what I do. Hey,
what I
maybe
do.
she's just a better DJ between you guys. Maybe that's just what
Dude,
it is.
That is
That's an important job. That is a very
guys
she just
balance
rakes
each
in
other
more
out
money than
quite
I do when
nicely.
she's sitting in the passenger seat.
You guys balance each other out quite nicely.
Yeah, I'm usually always
Quite
working.
nicely.
Oh my God. All right, guys. Well, now as we're wrapping this up, is there anything that anything you guys would like to add that we didn't cover? Anything?
I do. So, Alan, you had asked before about the future of natural bodybuilding, and where I perceive things going. I think we need to keep consolidating as far as it goes. Okay, I mean there are groups that are just not going to work together. That's very obvious, and we can see that. It is what it is. Our goal is to make athletes feel welcome and that they've got a stage that they've worked hard to be on, that they should be. I think the thing that saddens me most about natural bodybuilding is that the untested side of things is far more monetized than the natural sport. I think will be until we figure out the sponsorships and all these things, all of the pre-workouts and sups and all that kind of stuff that want to throw money at the untested big time athletes because they've got a big following on social media. Somehow we've got to flip it. And until they stop monetizing that, I think we're stuck. So we just got to continue to trudge forward, do the best we can.
And the more powers we can get together, the easier that's going to be.
Right.
So
More voice show.
trying to get more consolidation is going to be everything.
Right.
We got to get egos. We got to get egos put aside and to better the sport.
Yeah, and it's not so much being under one federation. It's just
Federation
working
name
together.
doesn't mean anything. That's what I've been told. Why the USBF is dead? Why would you want to do that? It's not a name. It's who's behind it. It's the people that are pushing forward and putting out these shows. That has nothing to do with the name. I can care less about any other federation.
Right.
Well, I was told back in
It
2021.
definitely is all about the athletes, that's for sure.
I was told back in 2021 USBF was going to be making some changes and going to be taking over, and I believe it. It's gold. It's gold.
That's good. That's
Skill.
good. Right. And you're right, Tony, that we still have a David and Goliath situation if we're going to compare ourselves to the untested world. But I think with the emergence of influencers and people owning their own story and being able to, network that way, and with the consolidation of these shows, like you said, especially the smaller shows, you guys know about energy. It compounds exponentially when you put it there. So when you start doing these small little measures, the output of them actually plays into such a bigger part that we sometimes don't realize because we're so used to just seeing things up front, don't realize that down the road, it makes a way bigger impact. But these are the things that we got to do. We got to still merge smaller shows. We got to continue the awareness, start doing things like exactly what you guys are saying with creating the entire experience to be about the athlete through and through, from sign in to getting off the stage to post show results to staying with the community. I mean, that entity in of itself is priceless. And, you know, the one thing that I do appreciate about you guys, appreciate about Robin, appreciate about all the things that we always talk about is still creating that segue for regular people to be able to normalize bodybuilding and relate to these athletes so that we do raise popularity for the sport, because it is a healthier measure than it is the untested side. So this is definitely the stories that we need for sure.
Absolutely. Well said.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here, here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, do me a favor and stay on. And Courtney, Tony, thank you guys so much. And Pretty Tony, I don't know. I'm just going to call you Pretty Tony from here on out, man. I like it for sure.
I can't see it any other way. Pretty Tony. What's up, PT?
Pretty Tony, right?
Pretty
PT, what's up, PT?
PT, pretty.
Easy, baby.
But all right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. And until next time, I'll see you guys around. Deuce.
I'm coming in hot.